the hell? Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls all over the world, we are in effect. Y'all know what time it is when you see me. This is Chilltown Hoops on a Monday night. We are in the middle of basketball. We're not in the middle of it. We are at the end of it. But we still in basketball season. We are. Free agency kind of died down. But with free agency dying down, we still got the Olympics. In the process of us having the Olympics, we got some news and we got some damn good. I wish I could sit here and tell you that. I wish I could sit here and tell you something different, but I can't. I'm trying to make sense of it, but I can't. I'm trying to give you an idea of why this is what it is, but I can't. And the reason why I can't is off the strength that it's never been done before. Never. Never been done before. For the record, our Olympic team, which the collection of talent that we have on this year's dream team is rivaled to the 92 dream to the 92 Olympic team in terms of talent. I've heard from numerous people that from a talent standpoint, they're better. So with that being said, we got Thanos, we got Thor, we got Wolverine, we got Gambit, we got Captain America, we got Spider-Man, we got Iron Man, we got Batman. We got all of these superheroes. In the process of having all of these superheroes, you had to call Dr. Xavier. What is happening right now? In the process of having all of these superheroes, all of these Avengers, we had to call Dr. Xavier. We had to call the old man to come save us. And what we have a tendency to do is forget, right? Because somebody's been around for so long, we forget how good they used to be. So here's this guy who, as awesome as James is right now, we forget how good he used to be. We're holding him to a standard at 39 years old to how good he used to be when he's not that good anymore. But he's still awesome, and they're looking at him to still do that. James is the one that's got to knock down the long ball. I mean, he led the U.S. team today with 20 points. He led the U.S. team today with 20 points. I'm watching him against Sudan, South Sudan, who, by the way, looked at Team USA with those kids, and made it clear. South Sudan with those kids looked at Team USA like, we ain't scared of you dudes. We are not afraid of you guys. And it took the old man to go, no, I'm not going to let this happen. And why is that? Right? Why does he still have to do this when it's obvious that he shouldn't, considering who we have? There are some of you that tell me, there are some of you, maybe not in here, but there are some of you that tell me Devin Booker is the best two guard in the NBA. There are some of you that tell me Anthony Davis is the best defensive player in the NBA. There are some of you who've told me Anthony Edwards is him. Now, when you get on a crew, right? When you get on a crew with a bunch of players like this, unfortunately, everybody is not going to be him. You can't put David Ruffin, Bobby Brown, Ralph, Teddy Pendergrass, Luther Vandross. You can't put all of these dudes in one group and expect all of them to be that dude. Somebody got to sing background. Somebody got to harmonize. That's what happens. So when you get on a crew like this, somebody got to take a back seat. Somebody's got to sacrifice. My question is why isn't it the old man? Why does he have to do this? when we have all of these young guys on this crew, right? When we got all of these young guys on this crew, why do I have to do this? And mind you, this is my fourth. This is the fourth time I've been in the Olympics. I was there in 2004. I was there in 2008. I was there in 12. And now here I am in 2024. It's the fourth time I've been here. Why do I still have to do this? When we have all these great lead singers, when Luther Vandross is here, and Teddy Pendergrass is here, and David Ruffin is here, and Michael Jackson is here. All of these great lead singers, why do I have to still do this? What does that tell me about the state of Team USA basketball? What does that tell me? Because if I look at this crew and I look at this group, there's no reason why the old man should have to do what he was doing. Team USA in 1992 did not tell Bird, you got to go do it. Bird, you got to do it. Bird was over, by the way, in 1992. Team USA, them dudes didn't tell Magic, you got to do it. They didn't do that. They did not do that. It was Charles who stepped up and said, yo, I'm not trying to hear us losing. I'm not trying to hear us losing. I am not trying to hear us lose. And the reason why I'm not trying to hear us lose is because, one, this is the first time I've ever been here, and I'd like to come back, which Charles did come back in 96. He's on the Olympic team again. But point I'm making is I'm past this. I don't have to do this anymore. I don't. And you guys shouldn't be looking at me to still have to do this. Jason Tatum, Anthony Edwards, Bam Adebayo, you guys shouldn't be looking at me to have to still do this, because this ain't my job no more. Don't get me wrong, I'm still fantastic, which he obviously is, right? Which he obviously still is fantastic. I'm not sure. I had James this season. I think I had him right outside the top 10. I think I had him at 11. But I take no issue with you having him as a top 10 player. I don't. But my idea of this team, Team USA, built the way it's built, with the amount of talent that's on it, for a 39-year-old to still have to be the man, which goes back to my original theory, which I told you why I don't think that the Lakers are ever going to win the championship again. Not with James at the helm. And the reason why I feel like that is because this Olympics, this is only a couple of weeks. Right? This Olympics is only a couple of weeks. They just got together in the beginning of July for training camp. They played a couple of exhibition games, which they handled. And the Olympics, I believe, start on, let's see. I think the opening games are on Friday. James is carrying the flag, right? I think James is carrying the flag. And with James carrying the flag, I think the games start on Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Yeah, I think the games start on Sunday. With that being said, this is only a couple of weeks. The NBA season goes from the end of October to the NBA Finals, which is the middle of June. You're asking a 39 going on 40-year-old, he'll be 40 in December, right? He'll be 40 years old in December. You're asking a 39-year-old to throw a team on his back and do it again. He doesn't know any other way. This is the way he's always done it. Always. This is the way he's always done it. He doesn't know any other way to do it. He doesn't know how to take a back seat. The Olympics is evidence of that. The Olympics is evidence of that. The Miami Heat were evidence of that. That was evidence of that. He doesn't know how to take a back seat. It's not that he can't, he doesn't know how. And rightfully so. When he's the man, more times than not, things work out. When he's the man, when he is the guy. So, with that being said, we have an Olympic team with an array of talent. I think that I think that, let's see, Steph Curry. Let's see, Steph Curry, who I still think. Let's see, Steph Curry, who I still think is arguably a top 5 player. Anthony Edwards, Jason Tatum, Bam Adebayo, Tyrese Halliburton, Anthony Davis. All of these guys, right? All of these guys, all of them, who are core guys, young guys, by the way. Anthony Davis is in his prime. He's 30 years old, right? He's in his prime at 30 years old. All of these guys have the ability to be the guy. Anthony Edwards is the man on his team. Tyrese Halliburton is moving into that top 5 lead guard conversation, right? Moving into that top 5 lead guard conversation with Bam Adebayo, who I'm on record. I'm on record saying that I'm ready to move off of buckets. I want to build the unit around Bam Bam. I do. I'm on record saying that. And I stand by that logic. I want to build the unit around Bam Bam. Because these next 3-4 years, well, not 3 or 4, I'm going to take that back. These next 6-7 years are still prime Bam years. I feel like these next 3 years are peak Bam. I don't want to waste them. I don't. And I feel like we've gotten everything that we're going to get out of buckets. And I want to build this unit around Bam. I want to get some more firepower in here to help Bam and for us to have an opportunity to put ourselves in a position to win. Anthony Davis played last season. He played, I think he was in the top 10 in the league last year in minutes. With him being in the top 10 in the league in minutes, he showed how durable he can be. Right? He showed how durable he could be. With that being said, right? With that being said, why are we still dependent on a 39-year-old to be the man? Why? Why are we still doing that? We shouldn't have to do that. That should not be the point of emphasis. Not that I don't love it. I'm a James guy. Anybody who knows me knows I'm a James guy. And I love James. And what happens is that people forget how good he used to be. Right? People forget how good he used to be. And the fact that he's clearly slowed down, right? He's clearly slowed down. Green, knock it off, okay? Knock it off. I'm not listening to you, okay? I'm not going to listen to your bullshit in here. I'm not. Nobody ever, by show of hands, before I go any further about James, by show of hands in this chat, before Anthony Davis got to the Los Angeles Lakers, by show of hands, did Anthony Davis was Soft and Anthony Davis ever in the same conversation? Yes or no? I'm going to ask you guys because Green wants to be a part of the conversation. So let's let Green, let's get to the bottom of what Green just addressed. Before Anthony Davis got to the Los Angeles Lakers, was Anthony Davis and Soft ever in the same sentence? Ever? I'm asking you guys. Straighten me out if I'm wrong. Was Anthony Davis and Soft ever in the same conversation? Yes or no? When he got to the Lakers in the 2019-2020 season, when they won the NBA championship, was Anthony Davis and Soft in the conversation in any sentence when they won the NBA championship that year? Was it ever? Yes or no? Because I don't ever remember hearing before he got to the Lakers and the year that they won the championship, I never heard Anthony Davis and Soft in the same conversation. Never heard that. Never heard that ever. So then you got 6 weeks after they win the NBA championship. He ends up getting hurt. Then the next year, right? Then the next year, the very next year, he gets hurt again because he had put on some weight and he ended up being out of shape. Now, all of a sudden, Anthony Davis is soft. Never heard that before. So over the last, and by the way, if he doesn't get hurt against Phoenix, they beat Phoenix in round one. But so over the last 3 years, now Anthony Davis, and by the way, Anthony Davis has been in the league. He showed up in 2012. Yep, he showed up in 2012. So from 2012 to 2022, I'm gonna say 2022. Right? From 2012 to 2022. From 2012 to 2022, there was never the soft tag. I never heard Anthony Davis and soft in the same sentence. Never. But now I got to listen to that because that's a narrative that has now circulated. He's soft. I don't appreciate that Giannis roughed him up. I don't appreciate that. And I do think that Giannis, I do think that Giannis passed him. However, him being soft, I do have an issue with that. That's just not true. Not true. Not at all. But I want to get back to the point that I was making about him being in the top 5 in the league this season that just passed, right? Him in this season that just passed, he was in the top 5 in the league, top 10 in the league in minutes. So we get back to durability. 5 of the 6 years that he played in New Orleans, he averaged 68 games. Averaged 68 games. He came back to camp beginning of the 23-24 season in the best shape of his life. What up, Lee? In the best shape of his life, the most durable, right? The most durable that he's been in a long time. But we still looking at the old man. Why? What? Who? Is it because the old man is still around? Because I don't think that's the case. Because again, I've seen in years past when older guys are around, though young guys take over. Young guys take over. James does have a dominant personality, 100% he does. And he is a dominant player. 100% he is. But the idea that Jason Tatum, Anthony Edwards, Bam Adebayo, Anthony Davis, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Halliburton, Devin Booker, who some of you tell me is the best who is the best 2-guard in the game. Some of you have told me that. Have told me that. He's the best 2-guard in the game. Right? So because of that, why do I still have to rely on a 39-year-old to save us? Why? Why do I have to rely on that? Marcus, yes, they have. I have to listen to that on the regular. Marcus, you ain't around me on the regular. I got to listen to that on the regular. Devin Booker is the best 2-guard in the game. I got to hear that on the regular. I don't have to hear that every once in a while. I hear that on the regular. Devin Booker is the best 2-guard in the NBA. Chill. Devin Booker is a better mid-range shooter than Donovan Mitchell. Devin Booker is a better one-on-one player than Anthony Edwards. Devin Booker, I gotta listen to that on the regular, Marcus. So the idea that no one says that, that's just not true. It's not. So with that being said, the Olympics start. With that being said, the Olympics start this weekend, right? Olympics start this weekend, and I think the elimination pool starts really early. I mean, I think the gold medal game is August the 10th. I think that's right. I think the gold medal game is all because if I'm not mistaken, today is the 22nd. Next Tuesday is the 29th. Next Monday is the 29th. Yeah. Next Monday is the 29th, which means the next Thursday is the 1st. So 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, right? 2.5 weeks from 2.5 weeks from Saturday is the gold medal game. 2.5 weeks from Saturday is the gold medal game. Not a huge sample size, but 2.5 weeks is the gold medal game. With that being said, how does this translate, right? How does this translate with these guys on Team USA moving forward, right? Moving forward for their own respective teams. Because I've seen guys in the past take ridiculous advantage of playing on Team USA. I mean, Jason Tatum was on that team in 21. It's not a coincidence. The next year, he was first team All NBA. That's not a coincidence. 100%. That's not a coincidence. I saw James in 2008 on the Olympic team. It's not a coincidence that the next year in 2008-09, he ends up winning the league MVP. That's not a coincidence. I saw Barkley on Team USA in 93. I mean, in 92. It's not a coincidence. In 92, 93, he wins the league MVP. When you're going up against guys like this every day, right? When you're going up against guys like this every day, when you get back to your respective teams, your game should raise. Your game should rise. I should not see the same dude that I saw in years past. Just off the strength that the competition that you saw in the Olympics, just from the team that you was on, right? Just from the team that you was on. You're not going to see that every day in practice on your NBA team. Excuse me. You're not going to see that every day in practice on your team. So you should dominate. 100% you should. 100% you should. And I'm not old as hell, money. I'm actually just not as young as I used to be. I can still do a lot of the stuff that I used to be able to do, money. I just can't do it as much as I used to. So I'm not old. I'm not old, brother. I'm just not as young as I used to be. That's what it is in a nutshell. But anyway, so when these guys get back to their respective teams, right? When these guys get back to their respective teams, what up, Dwayne? When these guys get back to their respective teams, their games should rise. So I expect to see a better year from Anthony Edwards this year. I expect to see a better season from Tyrese Halliburton. I expect to see a better season from Jason Tatum, Bam Adebayo, Anthony Davis. I expect to see a better season from these dudes. What up, Walt? How you doing, brother? And the reason why I expect to see better seasons because the kind of summer that you had. Because of the kind of summer that you had. Right? Because of the kind of summer that you had. So, because of that, I think we're gonna look. I think we're gonna see some more breakout years, right? I think we're gonna see. Actually, I am Marcus. Yes, I am. I think we're gonna see some breakout. I think we're gonna see some breakout seasons this year. Somebody's gonna have a breakout season off this team, right? Somebody off this team is gonna have a breakout year, and I'm interested to see who it's gonna be. I am. Now, with James doing what James is doing, what does this mean for the Lakers moving forward? Because again, I want to make sure that we're clear. He doesn't know how to play any other way. He doesn't. When he got with Bryant, right? When he got with Bryant in 08, right? When he got with Bryant in 08, I was working, right? I was working. 100% I was working. When he got with Bryant, he saw what the work actually looked like. Okay, that's what the work looked like. I got everything else. That's what the work looks like. I got to stay in the gym more. I got to put forth more effort. I got to work harder. I got to stay in the gym more. All of these things necessary in order for me to take my game to the next level. I have to do that. And he saw it from Bryant, which is why it's not a coincidence that the very next year in the 08-09 season, he wins the league MVP. Because now I see what the work looks like. Now I know what it looks like. And I feel like the same logic, I feel like the same logic goes for a lot of these guys right now that are on Team USA. But the question is what does this mean for the Lakers? Because I've said this to you guys in the past, and I stand on it. Until I am proven wrong, I will die on this hill. The days of James winning the NBA championship with throwing units on his back are over. Are over. He can't do that anymore. It might look like it now in this exhibition or these, I don't know, month and a half. It might look like he can still do it, but remember, one, how good he used to be. Two, how long the NBA season is. And three, how much younger the league is. I'm smart enough that I could still get busy. I'm smart enough that I'm better than 90% of you dudes. Just off the fact that I'm smarter than almost all of you. I could still get mine. The idea of me throwing a unit on my back and doing it again, like I did in 2016, like I did in 2018, I can't do that anymore. I can't. And I shouldn't be expected to. I shouldn't be expected to do that. There's no way I should be expected at 39 going on 40 years old. There's no way that you should expect me to throw a unit at this age on my back and be that what I used to be again. There's no way you should expect that. You can't. You can't expect that. There's no way there's no way you can expect that. So who is going to step up, right? Who is going to step up? That's my question to you guys. Who is going to step up? Who is going to be the guy? Because I'm on record saying that I was willing to give the ball to Anthony Davis and let him be the man. Peace, God. I wanted to get a ball to Anthony Davis and let him be the man. I wanted to do that. 100% I wanted to do that. I wanted to be the man. I want him to be the man. But the fact that James is still doing what he's doing says a lot, yo. It says a lot about, one, who he still is and who we think he still is. I know who he is. And again, he's smart enough and proven that he's smart enough, smarter than 90% of you dudes. That's why I'm better than 90% of you dudes. Physically, I can't do what I used to be able to do. But you see him in flashes where, he'll get an N1 dunk or he'll finish above the rim. He's not nearly the athlete that he was in 2020. And if you think so, or if you sit here and tell me that he is, you lying. Because if you go back and I think that's the difference with James. Because if you go back and look at him from just 2021, go back and look at him from 2020, you'll see a distinct difference in the two athletes. Go look at him 2023 and go look at him 2019. You'll see a distinct difference, a glaring difference between those two guys, right? So he's not the same guy he used to be. And the fact that you're asking him to carry like that and holding him to that standard, is it unfair? Nah, and the reason why it's not unfair is because the reason why it's not unfair is because you still show that you still could do that. That's the downside. Because you won't take a back seat to anybody. Even though I think you want to. I really think that he wants to take a backseat to Anthony Davis. Very much like Jabbar took a backseat to Magic. Very much like that. Very much like Jabbar went in 1987. You know what, Magic? This is you. You running it. I don't have what I used to have anymore. You are the man. I think James wants to do that. I don't think he knows how, though. I think that's the problem. And because of that, that's why I'm not sure that I don't think that the Lakers could win the NBA championship. Add that to the fact that they keep running into Denver. That's the problem. It's not the other teams in the Western Conference. It's just Denver. I like them against everybody else. If they could have avoided Denver this past season, if they could have avoided Denver, I think Oklahoma City is out in round one. I think they're out in round one. I think they could have beat Dallas. I like them against Minnesota. And I've said this to you guys in the past, and I stand on the logic. I stand on it. Teams duck smoke all the time. Teams don't duck smoke sometimes or most times. Teams duck smoke all the time. All the time. Teams duck smoke. Don't think for 1 second that when Minnesota bounced Denver, that Dallas wasn't like, whew, we ain't got to see them dudes. That's dope. Man, I don't have to see them. That is fantastic. Man, I think that's fantastic. We ain't got to see them dudes. That's awesome that we don't have to see them. So teams duck smoke all the time. All the time. So with that being said, right, I don't think he knows, especially at this age, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, right? You can't teach an old dog new tricks. And until he's able to trust the rest of them dudes, and when I say trust the rest of them dudes, to the point where, yo, you run it. I feel comfortable letting you do it. Very much like, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think James wanted to do that with Kyrie Irving. I think he wanted to hand it over to Irv. Irv didn't look at James like that, unfortunately. Irv looked at James like, yo, first of all, I ain't want you here in the first place. That's number one. Number two, I want to go out and do my own thing because you came here, and in the process of you coming here, you kind of threw a monkey wrench in what I was trying to do. Yeah, sure, we did win it. 100% we did. 100% we did win it. But in the process of us doing that, you kind of threw a monkey wrench in what I was trying to do. And because of that, I think I'm going to go do my own thing. I do. And sure, the word got out that if the word got back to him that Cleveland was shopping him and he didn't appreciate it. So he axed out. I wouldn't have traded him, to be honest with you. I would have told them two dudes to figure it out. I really would have. I would have told them dudes to figure it out. And with them figuring it out, they would have gotten to the bottom of it. But I'm not an advocate of that. I'm not. I think that they could have figured it out. I'm sure of it. So I just feel like the days of him throwing units on his back, this right here, to be honest with you, I feel like this right here, I think this is fool's gold. What I mean when I say fool's gold is you looking at this and thinking, yo, he still got the goods. He can still do it. He can for stretches. For stretches, he can still do it. Are the Lakers are the Lakers? What's the word I'm looking for? I don't think the Lakers are better off. Right? I don't think that the Lakers are better off without him. I don't think that. Because if you're moving off him, then blow the whole thing up. There's no reason to keep any of these dudes if you're moving off of him. But what I'm asking is if he's on this unit, right? If he's on this unit, And this team, which is the way it's put together, can get deep into the playoffs. Not deep into the playoffs, I'm sorry. If they could get a high seed without him playing 80 games, without him playing 75 games. If they could do that and then rest him as much as possible until we get to the playoffs, but still have Anthony Davis, Austin Reeves, Rui, guys like that still get busy with them playing off of James and them taking on more of an assertive role as opposed to James having to do everything. Is that more realistic? Because I think that that's more realistic than him throwing the unit on his back and taking him to the NBA championship. I think that that's way more realistic than him doing what he did in 2018, him doing what he did in 2020, right? Him doing what he did in 2015. I think that's way more realistic than that. Way more. And I'm not sure that I can, I'm not sure that I'm not sure he can do that. I'm not sure he can do that. So I want to hear from you guys, though. I do. I want to hear. I do want to hear from you guys. I do. I want to hear from you guys. What up, Mina?
Chill.
What up?
What up, sir? Man, you raised a lot of really good points, and we done talked a lot about LeBron in our previous conversations. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. It is fool's gold. It's 100% fool's gold. If you think he's gonna be able to do this for an entire NBA season, no.
Not for a stretch, Mina.
Um,
Not from like
no.
January to the middle of February or to the All Star break. Not from the end of November to the beginning of January. No. In order for the Lakers to get a top 5 seed, they're probably going to have to win 55 games. They're probably going to have to
Think,
win something like they're probably going to get a top 5 seed. I mean, because we're talking about the Golden
I was
State Warriors
thinking
last
closer
year.
to 60. Chill. That
That's what,
West is vicious.
so you figure Dallas, right? You figure Dallas last year or the Clippers, they had a top 5 seed and they won 51 games.
Yeah.
Minnesota, they had they was tied for first place and they won 56 games, right? So I feel like in order for him, I feel like in order for them to have a legit shot at having a top 5 seed, it's going to take 50 games minimum. It's going to take 50 games minimum
Minimum.
because, like I said, Golden State, they won 46 games last year. They didn't make the playoffs. 46 games, and they didn't make the playoffs. The Lakers won 47 games and barely made
You
the
know,
playoffs,
yeah, exactly. I think, of course, it all hinges on Anthony Davis,
right?
but I think we're past the point of, and I'm saying this a little hesitantly, but I think we're past the point where Anthony Davis still has the tag of injury prone. His performance last season, his performance in the playoffs really stood out to me. The way that the team was going to him for the first 3 quarters every game against the Nuggets, and for
Yeah,
whatever reason, they just forgot that game plan and stopped getting him the ball. Which
right.
to me, I think that was kind of the reason why they lost. But regardless, he's the guy that's going to be able to keep the team moving.
Sure.
And I think this experience in the playoffs, and I'm sure Anthony Davis hears all the admiration, all the compliments, everyone saying AD needs to be in the starting lineup. AD is killing. AD and LeBron are carrying Team USA. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he sees all of that, and so him going into next year, I think I said this to you before. I think AD has an excellent chance at getting the
Winning the league
MVP
MVP.
this
Yeah,
upcoming year.
I heard that last year, and to be honest with you, I think he played himself. I feel like he played himself into a damn good space, and
Mm-hmm.
he showed that he could stay healthy. In addition to him showing that
Mm-hmm.
he could stay healthy, he showed that he could play at a dominant defensive rate. He showed that he could play at a dominant offensive rate. Now, sure, the consistency might not be there for some people, but for me, I'm having a difficult time. I've always felt like Anthony Davis, when he's healthy, I mean, I can make a legit argument he's a top 5 player. I always felt like that, and I
I
wouldn't be
would
surprised
say
if AD.
honestly, top three. Chill. It's really it would be Jokic,
Giannis.
Luca, I think he's better than Giannis.
Giannis
He's
passed him
better
though,
than
but
Giannis.
but we're in a space now with Giannis that the indictments, like, he hasn't been arrested yet, but he's he's
Yeah.
he's a, he's a suspect. Let's put it like that.
But the reason I say
Let's
he's
put it like that.
better than Giannis because he has the skill sets that we wish Giannis had. He has the mid range game. He should be or he's shown to have been a excellent free throw shooter. You can give it to him in the post. He has post moves. Like he has the whole complete package. Not to mention the stellar defense. We don't even have to talk about his defensive effort.
The problem we
But
having
as far as
is
offensively,
I think the problem we having with Anthony Davis is with the inconsistencies. You'll see him go for
hmm
40 and 20 against Giannis, and you like, okay, see, okay, it's obvious that he can do it. It's obvious that he can do it. You'll see him go for 35 and 17 against Giannis, and you're like, okay, it's obvious that he can do it. But then you'll see Giannis put 50 on him, and you're like, whoa, wait a minute. Can he really do it? So it's I don't think I think top 3 is a little far fetched for me, but I feel like there's legit logic when he's healthy. There was a time, and maybe we might be past this. I think he's a bona fide top 10 player. I won't argue that. But there was a time when I feel like it was a legit argument that he was a top 5 player. 100% I believe that. So good to talk to you,
I
Minor. I
mean,
know where
but
to find
chill,
you at, brother.
all right, I'll let you.
Yeah, I'll talk to you, brother. What up?
What's up?
What up?
What was your question again? What was your question?
What question?
Like, like it was. I know it's about the Lakers. Like, can they do it or not? Is that the question?
It's not that it's not that can they do it. No, I don't think that's the question. It's I don't think James knows how to not be the guy.
I mean, he was trying to do that with Kyrie when he was in Cleveland.
Nobody wants to hear that.
I
Nobody.
swear to God, he was
Nobody wants
definitely
to hear
trying
that.
to though.
Nobody.
Like,
He
he was
actually
definitely
said
trying
that.
to.
He was
Yeah,
trying to,
yeah.
but Irv wasn't. I mean, the way James came into that situation, Irv wasn't appreciative to it. Irv felt like,
Yeah,
yo, this
because
is
he
my
basically came
thing.
into his house. Yeah.
Yeah, this is my thing. Y'all brought him in here.
Yeah.
There was no reason for him to be here. Obviously, it was, but I don't think that he knows how to not be the man. So
I think
because
he
he,
does. I think he does because I like I know in these past playoffs, like like game 2 is specifically, where AD was killing like early on, and then they blew that lead. They didn't get a ball to AD, so I can see if someone says he don't know how to do it because he didn't, you know, because AD's killing. Why, like up like 16? Why not just keep giving him the ball so you could just close the game out? But I think LeBron knows. I feel like this upcoming season he'll actually do it. Like, but just
what has
just
he
some
done
reason.
though? But you just mentioned it. What has he done to suggest that he does know how to take a back seat? Because we saw him take a back seat to Dwayne Wade, and how'd that go?
Well, AD has a chance to say that he's actually better than LeBron at this point, if we're being honest. So I
If we
think,
are,
yeah,
see, I like people like Marcus because Marcus, what are we doing right now? Sound like we having an honest conversation. That's what it sounds
yeah,
like.
yeah, for sure. I'm not gonna be biased.
That's what it sounds like we doing right now. Sounds like we are being candid and we having an honest conversation. And if we're having an honest conversation, can Anthony Davis say I'm better than this dude today? Can he say that?
Absolutely, yes, he
I
is
think he
better.
can. I don't think it's ridiculous to
Absolutely, he's
think that.
better. What are
I
you talking
don't.
about? He's definitely better.
I don't
Like,
think it's
like,
ridiculous
like
to
you can
say
just
that.
look at his impact, like with AD's not on the floor. Like I feel like like I said, like when the Lakers was having like them leads, AD was the man in charge, and doing so, specifically Game 2 of that series. And I think if they kept, look, I feel like the Lakers could have actually won that Denver series if, I don't know, man. I just feel like they could have won. They could have actually won that series if they just kept the leads.
Marcus, you just mentioned a really interesting point that they went away from Anthony Davis. You think Magic is going away from Jabbar?
Nah, hell no. Not if he's killing. Nah.
That's what you think that you think that they're going away from Shaq when Shaq is doing what he's doing? No.
I think Shaq will be more vocal in that, and I think that's the thing with AD. I don't think AD is vocal and like I don't think he has like that dominant personality. He has a dominant game, but I don't think he has a dominant personality.
And that's where
like just call for the ball every time he on the block.
And that's where you, right? That's where you, as Boudini Brown, that's where you come in. You are the man. Whatever he drew, we ain't running that. I'm coming to you again. And I understand that Denver mixed up their defense, and I understand that they went in a different way. All right, I can get with that, sure. But when you're matched up with him, and I'm as smart as I am, and I recognize defenses and I recognize coverages, I recognize that we're trying to run something different. Nah, we ain't doing that. I'm going to the big man. That's your job.
Facts.
That's your job.
I seen LeBron take the back seat. I remember it was it's Kyrie's infamous game against the Spurs. I think he had like 50. Like I think he had a double nickel where he had 50.
We don't even gotta go back that far. How about in Game 6 in the NBA Finals? Fry Curry. Fry him. I'm right here in the back. Fry him. Do not let him off the hook. Serve him.
Yeah, so I think it's just the personality AD. It has nothing to do with the game. Like I said, he's already better than LeBron in my eyes. I think he's the best player on that team.
I do. I think I'm on record saying that I wanted to get a ball to Anthony Davis. I wanted to run it through him. I'm on record saying that. So, Marcus, good to talk to you.
Davis. Oh, all right, cool.
Good to talk to you, brother. I appreciate it. I'm on record saying that I wanted to run the offense through him. I wanted to give him the basketball, and I wanted him to be our guy, our focal point on offense. I didn't want it to be James. I don't want it to be D'Angelo Russell. I don't want it to be Austin Reeves. I want all of these dudes to play off of him, all of them. Now, I understand that, he's not the dominant personality. That's where, Jabbar was soft-spoken. Jabbar wasn't much of a rah-rah guy. No, Magic knew where the damn ball went, though. He definitely did that. 100% he did. What up, Andre?
Chill.
What's up, brother? I just had you. You're muted. I just had you. I just had you.
You got my I muted myself.
Now you're hot.
Only reason I had to mute myself, Chill, is I like the reference in theory between Jabbar and Anthony Davis. The only thing is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he showed up to work for 20 straight years.
Yes, he did.
Whereas Anthony Davis, there's a reason that they call him street clothes. Now, I know this is your guy. Chill. DeMarcus Cousins should have never left the New Orleans Pelicans, okay? That was the team that should have stayed together where you had Rondo and Drew Holiday in the backcourt. You had Cousins and you had AD in the front court. You had Etuan Moore at the small forward. We got to see 1 year of that lineup that could have went on to greatness. And then the next thing you know, DeMarcus is in his feelings. He's angry. He turns down the $40 million over 2 years, whatever the heck it was. He's upset. Never healthy since, goes to the Lakers, his injury problems start. Then Anthony Davis goes to the Lakers, and his injury problems start. Chilltown, we already talked about it. I'm just going to make a quick reference because I have to do it every time to shape the St. Anthony's legacy that I respect so much. Chilltown, Anthony Davis now I have to say this, please, prefacing this. The greatest high school basketball tradition in America. I have to say that's the Chicago Public League. I have to say it, even though New Jersey has the Tournament of Champions. That's the cloth that Anthony Davis is cut from.
Yes.
Why doesn't he love the game why doesn't he have the hoop dreams love that he should? That's my issue. He doesn't love the game. People have said it about Anthony Davis. He has a dad bod. He's not in basketball shape all the time. He doesn't have the love for it. And I don't know what happened. I don't know what people's background is, but that's my issue with Anthony Davis. You're 100% right. Why are we talking about Giannis? What Giannis is, that's what Anthony Davis should be.
Yeah.
Period. But Giannis has the love for the game. You see him; he's in 100% top shape. You know what I mean? Like Anthony, like that's my issue. Why I don't trust the Lakers.
But
That's
he did
my
though. But he did. Anthony Davis, to his credit, he got himself in great shape in the beginning of the 23-24 season. He played the most minutes that he's played in a long time, I believe, since 2017. In the process of him doing that, he had an All-Pro season. I'm surprised he didn't make the All-Pro team. I was really surprised at that. At 26-12, he was a first-team All-League defender. So he got himself in terrific shape. He became the dominant force that he used to be. I think that the problem is the consistency in that. You know, we've seen him roll his ankle. We've seen him fall. And, you know, we cringe because does that mean that he's out for a month? Does that mean that he's going to the locker room for 6 weeks? Like, instead of, with the exception of this season, that's what it was in the past. Now, this season that just passed, it was more of, you know, he would roll his ankle, but then he'd come right back. I'm thinking, this is the Davis that I would like to see more. The tougher Anthony Davis, the more in shape Anthony Davis, the more vocal Anthony Davis. That's why I have a difficult time with the idea of James taking a back seat to him.
Well, yeah, indeed. Because with LeBron has all of the consistency, and I just think Anthony Davis, he reminds me, his thing that what it comes down to is just to this. I don't think he's happy. I don't think he's a happy person. Kevin Durant, yeah, that's where I'm going with this. People talk about Kevin Durant off the court.
Yep.
You know, he's freaking miserable. He doesn't talk to people. He's a chemistry killer. You know, all of the, you know, you heard this in Brooklyn, and it wasn't just Kevin Durant. It was also Kyrie that was, you know, kind of a rebel without a cause. But Anthony Davis, you know, to LeBron James, this is in year 20. He's inspired by his kids. He's inspired by being the flag bearer in the Olympics. He's inspired by his global brand. He's inspired by his family. He has all these other things outside of basketball that like bring life into what he does as a basketball player. I look at Anthony Davis, not only am I like stunned, Chilltown, Pat Beverly, I see Chicago and Pat Beverly. And all the teams he bounces around to. I'm giving you know what I mean? It's in, you know, I see LA and Russell Westbrook and how he plays. I'm putting on for my city. Somewhere along the line, Anthony, and you know something? I got to bring up another player. And he is a Chicago guy. How about Ed Curry? How about Eddie Curry? And this is a throwback, okay? A throwback, right? Eddie Curry, great basketball player. The city got to him. That's why he got robbed in front of a chicken spot in the middle of the night in Chicago. The city got to him in all of his responsibilities. Antoine Walker, another Chicago guy, taking care of 75 people, but ending up in financial distress. That's my issue with Anthony Davis. Whatever it is off the court that is zapping his soul and his energy and his life, that
so he's not focused on basketball as much as he should.
And then you add the injury issues where unfortunately he's a little bit like Derrick. He's not a little bit like, he is like Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose's knees have never been right. Anthony Davis and his body, it's just not right, and that's why I hold out hope that we'll hit maybe towards the end of the journey. But I just don't see him being there and LeBron James not being there. So the Lakers are in this place where, you know, their roster construction. I love the kid they drafted. I like Austin Reeves. I like Rory. I like Vanderbilt. I even like D'Lo. But they don't match with an old Anthony Davis and LeBron James. Those pieces you need. You know what I mean? It's the same thing that USA Basketball, and you started with USA Basketball. You know, their struggle is you got all the old timers, Curry, Durant, Davis, LeBron James, and then you got all the new jacks. Tatum, Anthony Edwards, Bam Adebayo. Steve Kerr is not the magician that Coach K is to meld these two rosters together. And I think that's what the struggle is. And it's the same thing with the Lakers. I credit Rob Pelinka. It's a roster that is he put together the best roster he could. But at the end of the day, it's going to be Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic versus Anthony Davis and LeBron James.
I feel like if they can avoid those, I've seen how that goes. I think if they can avoid them, I think it's something completely different. And I mean, Anthony Davis is in his prime. Andre, he's only 30 years old. I mean, I don't think he's old, and he's been in the league for a long time. So I think that may be, you know, what you're prefacing, the fact that he's been in the league for a long time. And over these last couple of years, the idea that he's broken down, even though he's gotten better in terms of playing more games, he's been in the league for a long time. The soft tag on him was never on him when he was in New Orleans. It wasn't on him when he first got to the Lakers. It was these last 2 or 3 years when he started breaking down. And I feel like COVID, the season, as it's shortened, and in addition to COVID, the fact that it was only 6 weeks in between the 2021 season and the 2019-2020 season, I thought that kind of hampered him and hampered his health. So because of that, right? So because of that, I feel like he ended up unfairly getting that soft tag, but I feel like he's in a space where he can now shed that.
I hope you're right, and correct. I'll be the first one to apologize. But fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, 100%. Shame on me. I can't trust him. I can't trust him going into this next season. Chilltown, always a pleasure. Yep. Thank you for having me on.
Good to talk to you, brother. I just think that a guy who is that talented, who's never been soft, and I've had my issues with Anthony Davis. 100%, I have had my issues with him, and. One fam says, "We on your helmet, Grilltown." We who? Who is we? Who is we? One fam. Answer that question. We who? One, whatever the hell your name is. Who is we? We on your helmet. You ain't on nothing. You ain't even. Matter of fact, get your ass out of here. I'm good on you. Beat it. So, I think a guy like I'm not paying attention to him. A guy like Anthony Davis, who I feel like should take more of the helm, and James be able to take a step back, very much like Jabbar, and very much like Jabbar did with Magic. I think that this team would be much better if he was able. I want to make sure I'm clear on this. If he was able to sustain that, because I've seen him, right? I've seen him, right? I have seen him be able to do that for stretches. I think that if he's able to do it for the entire season, I think that they would be in a lot better shape. What up, Tex?
Yo, what's the word? What's the word? Let me know. You can hear me? Am I loud and clear? Okay. So I'm lagging a little bit.
Nope.
we're gonna get into it. I just want to harp in on the Olympics, and then we'll just transfer it over. First of all, appreciate you for having me. You know the vibes. We ain't chop it up all summer like that. But I will say this: I am absolutely disgusted at what I'm seeing. You are not only almost losing to Dennis the Menace Schroeder, who is having his way whenever he feels like getting into the paint. I'm there. Whenever. Steph, excuse me, sorry, 30. Like, come on, man. So my thing is, here's what I have my issue with, Chill, is that it feels like we're watching multiple, like 3 different teams molding into one, and they're all playing at all different paces, all different tempos, and when there is a rhythm, Steve Kerr decides to break it up and bring the another lineup in, and it's just his substitution packages are losing me. They're losing me. I'm watching turnover after turnover after turnover. What is the smart thing to do? And say, hey, we have Tyrese Halliburton. He's a good passer. He's someone that can.
Did I have him? I lost him.
White, dribble, and just, in my opinion.
I had Tex. He's going in and out. See if I could get him back. See if I could get Tex back. I had him. See if I could get him back. See if I could get Tex back. I had him. He went in and out. See if I could get him back. It got a little tricky for a little bit, but yeah, man. I feel like this Olympics is going to be a little bit different, but I'll be interested to see how it goes. What up?
OG, what up, man?
What up, brother?
You got a big fan out here in Cali, man. You got me on YouTube watching all this basketball stuff, man. Seeing your videos and stuff, man. I just wanted to give you a shout out, man.
That's what's up. I used to live in I lived in Los Angeles for 7 months, and then I lived in the Bay Area for 4. The Bay Area is like an ex-girlfriend that you don't hate her. You ain't got nothing bad to say about her. And I loved it out there. I didn't like the Bay Area. I loved it out there.
Okay. I'm from out here in Compton.
Word.
I used
to live in the Wilshire district.
Okay. That's what's up. But I just wanted to say, man, with the Lakers, do you feel like if Vando and Christian Woods would have been healthy, you think they would have had a better chance against Denver last year in the playoffs?
I just think that's a bad matchup, to be honest with you. I feel like every team has it. Every
Okay.
team has it. Houston had a difficult time with Seattle. Seattle had a difficult time with Phoenix. Phoenix had a difficult time with Houston.
Okay.
That was, and that's what it was. And there's no getting around it. None. I feel like there's a team, as good as this team is, every team has that team's number. As good as the Bulls were, they had a difficult time with Houston. When they had Jordan, when they had Pippen, they had a hell of a time. I feel like every team has that one team that they just can't. And I feel like and not only that, Westside, you being from Cali, as you know, I don't care how tough dudes are. Dudes duck smoke, yo. They do.
Oh yeah,
Teams duck smoke all the time. As tough as you are, there's certain spots. You know what? I don't need to be over there. I don't need to be over there. And if I can avoid going over there, I will. Not to say that I won't go over there, right? I probably could catch you on Rosecrans. I probably could catch you over there. However, if you don't have to be there, right? But if you don't have to be on Rosecrans, you ain't gonna be over there.
Yeah.
You don't want nothing to do with that. You don't want nothing to do with that. No.
You speaking to me directly with that too, for sure. Like you speaking to me directly. So
absolutely.
I get what you're saying.
And that don't mean you soft. That don't mean you a chump. That's just not for me. I don't need to be over there. Nah. So I feel like in the NBA, there are teams who, like I said, Dallas, for an example. Don't think for 1 second, Westside, that Dallas, when they saw Minnesota drop Denver, they wasn't like, man, them dudes. Word.
I knew they was gonna beat them too because Minnesota offense ain't that good sometimes. I knew they was gonna be able to handle them.
That's why I had this difficult time with the Anthony Edwards logic. Like y'all forget about Anthony Edwards, right? Y'all talk about Anthony Edwards like he's that dude, which he's on his way to being that dude. He ain't that dude yet. He's on his way to being that dude. But you forget what he looked like during the season. You forget what Minnesota's offense looked like during the season. It's, Anthony Edwards is him. He's on his way to being him. He ain't him yet.
I think the media is just like, what's it called when they just like, when somebody do good, like they just so quick to jump on somebody just because it's the new best thing, like it's a new toy or something. I think that's what they be doing with Anthony Edwards. They trying to hurry up and find somebody to pass LeBron to take over, but I don't really see it. Like Ant-Man probably can, but it's like, is you trying too hard? And he need to learn how to pass out the double team, man. He be killing Team USA too. He can't pass the ball to AD off the road.
That's why we ain't done with the 90s, because soon as Anthony Edwards gets busy, who the first person that they compare him to?
Michael Jordan.
Yeah, give me a break, man. Like, we ain't done with this.
I don't get it.
Give me a break, yo. So, hey, Westside, it's good to talk to you, brother.
You too,
Cali
man.
love. Cali
you
love,
know,
no
man.
doubt.
Much love,
Absolutely.
man. Much love, man.
Hey, let me tell y'all something. I lived in California. I lived on the West Coast for 8 years. Right? I lived on the West Coast for 8 years. I loved it out there. I ain't like the West Coast. I loved it out there. I'm a big-time West Coast fan. I lived in the Bay Area for 4 years. I would have never left. I loved it out there. The Bay Area was so dope. Loved it out there. What up?
Fuck niggers. I'm Team Jalen. Fuck George Floyd. He's a bitch. What's good? Hey, bro, Jalen paid me to do this. I'm not gonna lie.
No, he didn't. What up, brother?
What up, Chill?
What's up, brother? How you running?
Hey, man, I'm good, man. That game was a good game. But you know what? I'm sitting there watching this game, and I'm saying to myself, I'm kind of embarrassed, man. I know how good these players are,
sure,
but it's embarrassing because y'all looking like a whole bunch of low IQ basketball players out there that don't know what to do. And
keep going. I'm sorry.
I mean, I'm looking at a guy in Devin Booker. Look like he don't even belong. I mean, he's getting lost on defensive rotations. Offensively, he's just driving with no plan. Anthony Edwards is coming off of DHOs and pick and rolls, looking like a high schooler who just got in the game and don't know what the hell he's doing sometimes. And it's just like, when y'all around a whole bunch of players who international players whose games are all predicated on high IQ because they don't thrive on athleticism, and then y'all just getting outplayed play after play after play. And then when you look at a guy in LeBron's the only one really slowing down, being cerebral, breaking the game down, and it's just kind of embarrassing, man. It's embarrassing. I ain't gonna lie.
Everything that you just said, Lamont, is the reason why James is still who he is. Because athletically, I'm clearly not what I used to be. And if you think that he is, and I don't mean you specifically, but if you watch James, it's obvious that he's not the athlete that he was in 21 or in 18 or in 19. But I'm just smarter than the rest of you dudes.
Yep.
That's it. I think the game more than you dudes do. I'm watching Devin Booker ended up in the middle of the lane, almost bumping into Joel
Embiid. You remember that play?
I'm thinking to myself, what are we doing, baby?
Yeah.
What's
At first I was asking on that play. I was like, say, Joel Embiid, what the hell are you doing? And Devin Booker, what the hell are you doing? I'm looking at both of them like, what the hell is both y'all doing? Like, how y'all running at each other on the pick and roll? And it's just like, this is basic. This ain't even really complex.
It's not.
And it's just like, man, it's embarrassing, man. It makes us look bad, especially when we go so hard at bat for some of these guys. And then when they go out there and put on a show like this, man, and they just have to absolutely get carried by LeBron, it just is a bad look, man.
And this, Lamont, is why I feel like, and I get a lot of pushback from this. This is why I feel like building an actual national team is important. Because that's why you see teams like Spain, Germany, Serbia, Argentina, when they did what they did in 2004. That's why you see these teams doing what they're doing. Because one, when we get accustomed to playing with each other, we think on the same level. We're not the Keystone Cops out here. We're not bumping into each other. We're not opening up training camp barely a month ago, and we don't even know what we're doing. We've been playing with each other for such a long time that we know what each other is doing because we're actually building a national team. With this crew, like when you throw in units together, I feel like eventually it's going to catch up to you. I'm thinking guys like Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Bam, Tyrese Halliburton, not necessarily Anthony Davis. I'm thinking the kid from Detroit, Jalen Duren, guys like that. We should be building our national team around these guys. That way, in the future, we don't have to throw throwing mud on the wall and seeing what sticks. We don't have to do that.
You are right. My example of that is like, so last year, I coach at GCU.
Sure.
Well, last year, towards the end of our season, we trying to prepare for our national tournament. So I bring in a semi-pro team, one of the ABA teams out here. I'm talking about this team is loaded with D1 guys that played in the G League. And I'm like, okay, I'm thinking they might beat us, but we gonna learn something because they're gonna play at a different pace. But the one advantage that we had is we've been playing all season together. These guys, their season was just started. This was just their second game. They had no chemistry, camaraderie. We ended up beating them by 30. Wow. And it's just, when you look at this USA team, they disrespect basketball because they think they could just throw together a collection of players right before the Olympics start. And then that guy is going, no, and that them days is starting to become over with. Them days is because the world is now more talented and they actually play with pride for their country. Like some of these guys carry the weight of their country on their back. Like South Sudan, when they was playing that game, they was playing with South Sudan on their back. They was playing for, and when you playing, like I can tell that watching Brian and AD play, I can tell what they're playing for by how hard they playing. I don't know what Devin Booker's playing for. I don't know what Tatum's playing for. I don't know what Anthony Edwards is playing for. But the way a lot of these guys are playing, they not playing with any pride for the game, for themselves, for the country. They just out there. I feel like they just out there trying to look good or whatever, but they not playing with any sense of urgency or nothing, and it shows badly. And
just to give you,
it's sad. It's sad.
To give you some context, I remember in 2000, the guy that I bring up is Kobe Bryant. He didn't play on the Olympic team because he got married that summer, and I remember Mehmet Okur, who's from Turkey, he had found out about it and he was asked about it, and he said, if Turkey would have qualified for the Olympics in 2000, my wedding would have got pushed back That's how much pride these guys, international players, take in playing in the Olympics. So this is not something where they just show up and we're a bunch of ballers. Because if you show up as a bunch of ballers, you're going to end up like what happens with the 2004 team, and you're going to get upset. That's going to happen.
Yep.
100%.
It's sad, man.
Yeah, man.
It's sad.
I don't like it at all. I'd much rather us actually build a national team, because we shouldn't have to depend on the old man, Lamont. We shouldn't have to depend on him like this. We shouldn't.
I would rather, and this might sound crazy, but I would rather us send the best college players out there than what I'm seeing now from some of these players. And I would rather see the college guys go out there and either surprise everybody and win gold or come away with the silver or bronze, because it don't look like some of the guys kind of appreciate the magnitude of what the USA basketball is. And it stems from even Joel Embiid's comments. You know, what are you really thinking about when you saying comments like what you said about LeBron? And the funny thing about it is,
what did he
remember
say?
he said that LeBron is getting older and X, Y, and Z. And the funniest thing about it is Joel Embiid looks and plays older than LeBron. He's slower. He's not as athletic. He can't do anything as good as LeBron right now in his career. What are you talking about LeBron's age for? And it's just like, I don't know where y'all focuses are. Y'all winning games just off of either LeBron's greatness or just off the fact that you're just athletically better than the other team.
Right.
Just like what we saw in Serbia. You're not really beating these teams. You're just coming in with a better roster. So, but Steve Kerr, there's even criticism to be handed down to Steve Kerr and some of these oddball. How is Devin Booker and Joel Embiid even playing that many minutes? You know,
I'm on record when Kawhi Leonard ended up being taken off the team. I don't understand why the Philadelphia officials didn't come get Joel Embiid too. I'm surprised that they didn't come get him. How is he still on the crew is still a mystery to me. It is.
He's not. He looks lost out there. He don't fit. He's not. I think there are plenty of other guys in this league. You know, like a Chet Holmgren. I think his style of play, what he can do offensively and defensively, fits better with the international game. And it fits better with how this team wants to play. Joel Embiid is just too slow. He's too ISO dominant with the ball. The ball stops when he touches it. So
which it doesn't with. If you watch these other international teams, you watch Serbia, you watch Germany, you watch France, you watch Greece. That ball is moving. It's action. Now you might not have the talent that Team USA has, right? You might not have South Sudan doesn't have the talent that Team USA has, but they damn sure got that ball moving. They 100% do. So I think this is going to change, to be honest with you, Lamont, because I think that the same thing that you see, they have to see it. There's no way that they don't see this. There's no way. They have to see this. So it's good to talk to you, brother. I know where to find you.
Yeah, all right, man. Catch you later.
What up?
Who would look better up, Low or Big Ox?
Who would
look better oiled up, Low or Big Ox?
I don't know. That's a question that you can answer
yourself. Shut up, bitch.
You more
bend over and let me fuck that tight asshole, daddy.
You sound like you're more interested in that, so that's what it sounds like. So I don't know. All right, guys. It's about that time for me. It was good to see you guys. I will be back soon. We will be talking more pro basketball really soon, 100%. The Olympics start next weekend. Yeah. I think the Olympics start next weekend, which is good. Got the Summer League Championship game tonight. All right. I think we got the Summer League Championship game tonight, which is good. So hold on. I got one more call. What up?
Salute. I just want to say one thing. You one of the only guys in the YouTube streets that have seen the game back in the day and appreciate the game now for what it is and give an honest take without being stuck in the attached to the 90s. So I just appreciate you doing that. Keep doing what you're doing. Ignore the trolls. Ignore the stupid dudes over there at Players Choice trying to divide y'all and trying to get y'all to look at each other's channels and compete and do all of this crazy stuff like they try to do to Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. They trying to do that to y'all over there at Players Choice. I see it. The dudes that's left is the dudes that's supposed to be there. Everybody that's gone didn't want to be there. And that's just my take on it. Salute to King James for being consistent and doing what he's doing. He ain't taking away the greatness from no other era. He's just proving his versatility and him being able to fit in any era. I mean, he just keep proving who he is and what he represent. And in order to acknowledge it, you don't have to knock another era, knock another player. Michael Jordan and LeBron both can be great in the same conversation in the same sentence. But once you do compare them, you have to be honest. LeBron is just better. And that's just my take on it. Salute.
Absolutely. Good to talk to you, brother. Absolutely. What up? Can't hear you. You muted.
My fault. What up, Chill,
Yep.
man?
What up?
Appreciate you having me on, man. I mean, I would listen to you and Lamont in a conversation about the Team USA, and I feel the same way, man. Like it's disappointing. It's the chemistry is not there. You can tell. Is that the team is not the right fit, built, and it's like it starts with the helm of the Steve Kerrs and the Grant Hills. They the one who select this team. They the one that said we ain't doing no tryouts no more. Which I feel that's kind of egregious. It's like, come on, like I mean, you
remember that?
like
Remember
listen.
you had to
If
actually
you
try
if you
out for the
that
crew?
dude, listen. If you that dude,
Yeah.
and if you like I said before, listen. The talent, we always had the talent, but the thing
Yep.
is, around the world, is like they're catching up per se.
Sure.
But the difference is they have the chemistry. They play better team ball. So when you just putting out a bunch of talent, we have no chemistry. It's like, I mean, it's a kind of a joke, man. It's like it's just what are you playing? What are we here for? For the money and the fame and or just the glory or really representing the country or why USA the best in the world?
Right.
Like,
I remember. I do remember that they actually had tryouts. Like they invited like 30 guys to camp, and you're like, we get to pick from these 30 guys. We kind of knew like who was like we kind of knew who was going to be on the team, but we also would like to see, okay, this guy may make the cut. He might be a better fit than this guy, as opposed to just him being more talented. Because more talented and better fit are not the same thing. Those two things are not the same thing. Because there's nobody that can sell that, Drew Holiday is more talented than Damian Lillard. But he fits better on this crew for what they need.
hey, listen, he's arguably the best guard on the team.
Right.
Like we talking about USA stuff, but see, that's what I'm saying. Just because in this Olympics it's a different game. It's basketball, but it's a different game. Like people forget, Drew Holiday in the last Olympics was our best guard. And like, yeah, it's all about the fit. It's all about the fit of international game. And it's like it seems like it's a joke. Joel Embiid don't look like even 100% healthy. So it's like, why are you even there? And why are you like? I don't know. People not getting used correctly at their best. It's like why Steve Kerr running 3 guard lineups? Starters,
Small guards,
like
by the way, small guards, smaller
small
guards.
guard lineups.
When you got big guards out there, I don't know.
Unathletic lineups too. Three small guard lineups is unathletic. You get what Drew Holiday, Devin Booker, Steph Curry, LeBron James, and Joel Embiid.
No.
What are we doing?
No.
And let's start. Listen, Grant Hill. Listen, Grant Hill need to get held accountable. He organized all this. He organized all this. He's the one. Like I said, I understand people will. We can criticize the players, but they didn't try out.
Together?
They got selected.
Who put this group together? That's 100% that's 100% a real thing. Who put this group together?
Look at LeBron James out here, bro. Oh, it's embarrassing. LeBron James. Shout out LeBron James, all time great. Listen, he's arguably the GOAT. But why he got to carry us, man? Why he got to get in the clutch? This is insane, man.
It is, man. It is. It's true. Good to talk to you, brother. You know where to find me at. Absolutely, my man.
Hey, appreciate you, Chill, man. Salute,
yes,
man.
sir. Absolutely. And it's pretty incredible, guys. It just is. So I got a super chat that I have to get to from Marcus. Marcus says, them saying soft basically means injury prone, which is the Anthony Davis logic that Anthony Davis is soft because he's injury prone. Well, I mean, I don't think that's only the reason why they call him soft, which isn't true because he's not soft. He has a tendency from time to time, but no, Anthony Davis is not soft. But it was good to see you guys tonight. Absolutely. It was good to see you guys tonight. Y'all know what we do. Y'all know where to find me at. If I'm not here, I'm on TikTok 9 a.m. Monday to Friday. If I'm not there, I'm on a panel from 11 to 2, Monday to Friday. If I'm not there, I'm here, right here on Chilltown Hoops. On Tuesday nights, I'm here with my man Tony Tone. We do Fluent and Chill. You know where to find us. If I'm not here, I'm on Chill with Chill on Saturday at 12 o'clock. We're back here on YouTube. Yep, we're back here on YouTube. We're not on playback anymore. We're back here on YouTube. So I'm not hard to find. I am not hard to find at all. It was good to see you guys. I will see you guys soon. Until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. Last time you talk to your mother. Call your mother. I will talk to you guys soon. But until then, take it light, but take it. Absolutely. It was good to see you guys. What up?